guys, it's Peter Dankelson for Pete's Diary, and welcome back to another episode of this great rundown. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about my newest, the newest member of the family. This is Epiphone's new, this is Epiphone's new version of the Korina Flying V. So, one of the cool things, particularly with this type of guitar, Gibson did the reissues of the Korina Explorer and Flying V a couple of years ago. There were a couple runs of Custom Shop. I think there was Murphy Lab. But, I'm not a body parts to sell for some of those, So, so when I saw that Epiphone, was releasing these, I got really excited. Actually, it's kind of funny how I found out. I found out a little bit early, but it wasn't intentional. It's kind of cool. So basically what happened was these came out very early March, I think, and it was anyway, I was at Sweetwater. Doing an interview there, and walked into the photography room and stuff. To do the shots for the YouTube, what do you call it, thumbnail, the YouTube thumbnail. So, doing the photos there, and I look, and just out of the corner of my eye, I see, the look of the Korina Explorer and V right away, and I'm like, oh, sweet, those look great. And I look closer, and I see that they're Epiphones, and I go, oh, wait a minute. I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to see these. So, I'm like, oh, no. I've loved the looks of those these types of guitars for forever. I mean, it just has such an iconic look. See Joe Bonamassa, Amos, which is kind of basically, looks like this, and Rick Nielsen with the, Rick plays a bunch of Explorers, but I know he's got a few of the, the original Korinas, which is pretty cool. Just that kind of, I guess, thing with them, right? So, excuse me. But, the thing is, I've always loved the looks of these guitars, because, I've talked about it before, but, I'm still like, okay, I know the SG is my kind of main thing, but what else kind of fits the, is something that I'll lead towards more for playing live. And I was kind of, it's a bit of a toss-up between the Flying V and Explorer. You just don't see them, you don't see them that often in stores. So I hadn't really had as much experience with them. But as soon as I saw these, I'm like, oh, which one am I going to pick up, the Explorer or the V? So I had a couple of days to think about it before the official release. But as soon as they came out, I was like, okay, I'm going with the V. And I'm really excited about the decision, because with the V, the thing with the V that I love more, I think, than the Explorer. The Explorer, it's really cool, but the thing with the Explorer I noticed, with me being so short, the Explorer just looks kind of big. It extends far out, on both ends, right? So with me, it might look kind of funny. I mean, the V is pretty big on me, but oh well. Maybe that kind of adds to the charm, seeing me play it live. This tiny guy is playing a guitar that's almost as big as he is. You think that's the case? You should see the case this thing came in, because, they reissued the case with the, with the V and Explorer as well. The case is almost as tall as I am. But I guess one other thing to mention with the V that's really cool, with this specific one, the ones that you'll find, in stores nowadays, they have the white plastics. It's got the it's got the white pickguard and the white, I think they call them a poker chip, but not poker chip, but the jack plate, right? You'll see them as the a white pickguard and jack plate, but if you ordered one from the Gibson garage, you got the black look. And again, I mentioned Joe Bonamassa's Amos Flying V, and this is what it made me think of. And this is my favorite look too, so I'm like, I gotta go with this. So yeah, this one came from Nashville. And yeah, the thing that blows my mind right away that really got me excited when I picked it up out of the case is how light it is. It is lighter than my SG. And I mean, I'm dead serious. Like, this thing is ridiculously light for, you know, how funky it looks, you know, and how, I guess, how much larger the body looks. You know, you would kind of think, you know, if you haven't held one before, that it would be a bit heavy, but no, it is really light. Like, I really mean it when I say that it's lighter than my SG. It's fantastic. It's great. The neck is pretty big on this, which, you know, it did take a little bit of getting used to, but it's like, you know, if you're inspired by the guitar and you really love it, you try and just look past that, and just kind of keep plugging away on it. So the neck is pretty big, but you got, you know, easy access, you know, all up and down the neck. So to me, that's a pretty nice, you know, touch. Yeah, and that kind of hits all the marks for, you know, the looks and how I feel about it. So yeah, lightweight, easy to move around. It's great to play. And I've only used it live once so far, but I'm going to use it more. Yeah, it's great. I think one of the main things that I've noticed with this guitar so far, in kind of comparison to everything else, to me, it feels sonically similar to the SC, which to me is already, you know, something I gravitate to, you know, immediately. But maybe a little bit snappier. And I don't know if that's because of the Korina wood and all of that, but it's got a little bit more of a snap to it. I guess you're doing like a, I don't know, like a funk, you know, kind of strum. It's got a really good snap to it. I don't know if that's the Korina, or I don't know if V's in general just kind of have that sound or that vibe. It's a bit more, it's a bit more higher end too. So that's something I've noticed too. So I guess EQ the amp just a little bit differently, but I don't know if that's also, I have like different types of strings on here, so maybe that's what's going on with it too. Yeah, maybe it's a really bright guitar, basically. You know, it's got some snap to it, so yeah, it's cool. I guess one of the main reasons I wanted to pick up the V, I've always loved the shape. And it's interesting too, because, you know, with the V, you know, you automatically think of like heavy metal. You think of like Judas Priest. Like the first thing I jammed on it was Painkiller. So, you know, it definitely kind of leads itself to metal and that kind of vibe. But it's also, you see it with some blues players as well. Like, of course, Albert King. You know, that kind of, you know, that kind of sound and style. Look at the tones that he got out of the Flying V and all the great tunes that, you know, he played and all the licks and stuff that he did. So, you know, the V's definitely very bluesy as well. It's not just, you know, a heavy metal machine, which, you know, it also is as well. So again, you know, the V, I don't want to say it gets misunderstood, but, you know, there's more to the V than I think what people typically give it credit for. They could do a lot of different, you know, there's a lot of different styles that you can kind of use with the V that maybe you wouldn't automatically think of as much. Yeah. So, you know, the main thing with the Flying V, I've always loved the look. It's always been something I'm interested in. And something I'm pretty happy to have kind of, you know, found out. I'm a big fan of it, especially for live use. It's really cool to kind of, you know, discover that I know that this will work and it's something that I know I'll enjoy in a live setting. And also, too, something else that's kind of funny you hear people talk about with Vs is that they're kind of uncomfortable to sit with. I mean, they are. I mean, you know, it's kind of cool because with the 58 style, it's got this kind of rubber strip on the side of it. I mean, you can sit with it like this if you want to, but I mean, you know, not exactly the most comfortable way to sit with it. So you see a lot of people use, I guess they call it like classical style. You know, you put it between your legs, and then you kind of have that rubber strip on the side to kind of, support the guitar. And actually, it feels really comfortable. You know, I mean, and it's so lightweight too. It just kind of sits there. I'm wearing jeans right now, so you know it doesn't slide around as much. So you know, people are kind of like, how do I sit with a V? And you know what? It's funny because people are like, oh, I'm not gonna sit classical style. I'm like, I mean, it's kind of weird at first, but it's like once you get used to it, it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes I feel like us guitar players, we can get a bit too, what's the word? Crazy. It's like, just give it a try. You know, it's not as, you know, crazy or as demanding or weird as you might think. It's just a little bit of getting used to. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the Flying V overall. Again, it's something I'm really happy to have kind of found and discovered as something that works, you know, very, very well in the live setting. And it's something I'm looking forward to kind of discovering more and more. Really fun guitar, really inspired by it, and can't wait to see, you know, what, can't wait to use it for more live shows, and I can't wait to see what music it inspires. So, that's everything with the Korina V. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.